All right, so you guys wanted me to do a video on how to set valves for a Kawasaki FS or FX series engine. This is the process how to do it. This applies to all FS and FX engines outside of the, I believe, the 850 and up. This here is a 730. The 730 will be the same as the 600, and 730 obviously both FS and FX, anything FS 541, 481, 600, and like I said, up to 850. This is the process. So you want to go ahead and have your valve cover off. This is a ZTO, so I've got this pan under here to catch any oil dripping. First thing you want to do is have both the spark plugs out after you have the cover off. Once you take the cover off, you want to check to make sure that we're going to start with this exhaust valve first. So that's loose, that's moving here, but your intake valve is in the full down position. You can find top dead center and do it the same way, but this way is just a little easier because then you're not having to mess around trying to find top dead center. So your intake is full down. So your intake is in the full down position. So your exhaust is completely closed. So we're going to start with that one there. Now I already know what's out of spec. We're going to take our feeler gauge here. I'm trying to look through the camera and do this, and sure enough, I can move that way too easy. So what you're going to do is loosen this nut right here. It's 10 millimeter. Just loosen it. Then I'm going to take just bear with me here, I'm trying to hold the camera and do this at the same time. I'm going to take this big long extension right here and a 10 millimeter, put it on there and just give him just a little bit, loosen this just a touch more, give this guy just a little bit of a tweak there. And then the spec from Kawasaki is between 4 and 5 thousandths of an inch. I try to have it closer to 4. See right here, I've got it too tight now because I can't stick the feeler in there, and I can't move this any more than I could before. So we're going to back that up just a touch there. Back it up some more. Easy, it's best to do this with 2 hands. Alright, so I'm using my 4 thousandths gauge here, and you should be able to feel some resistance in there. It shouldn't be a ton, but you shouldn't have such an easy time moving it back and forth. See, that feels pretty good right there. So we're gonna try to tighten that nut back up, and this is the part where you have to have 2 hands because you can make the bolt move when you go to tighten this. Matter of fact, I'll probably show you that whole thing right now. Make sure that's tight. That moves pretty freely there, but let's put the 5 thousandths in there. That was the 5 thousandths I was using. It feels pretty good. They tell you between 4 and 6, but like I said, and here's our 6 thousandths right here. 6 thousandths, it's a lot harder to move it back and forth. That feels pretty good, so we'll probably just leave it right there. Make sure this is tight. Okay. And now for the intake side, we're going to take the top off the motor here and roll this over. See it move. We want to make sure the exhaust valve is in the full down position. Like that. Like right about there. And do the same thing. That's our 6 thousandths there. Matter of fact, you can probably read it in the camera, but there's a lot of room in there for that 6/1000. So we're going to loosen this guy again. There he goes. Where'd my tool go? Here it is. Just give this just probably about that much. Like I said, it's easier to do this with 2 hands. I'm trying to show you guys in the camera here. And it doesn't take very much to get the cam in here to move with this thing. Very sensitive. But that's the process of it, more or less. It does take a little trial and error, but this process for this number 1 side here is the exact same process for your number 2 side over there. Take both spark plugs out, have a pan under it to catch the oil, because you're going to lose some, but not too difficult. But sometimes, especially like on the X, you're going to have that big shroud over the front of it. You do have to take that off. It makes it easier, and the muffler guard and everything does make it a lot easier to take the other things off the front of it, because it will slow you down. And sometimes more work is less work.